News program on Azərbaycan Televiziya. I'm your presenter, Mihin Hacıyeva. On January 5th, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, was interviewed by local TV channels.
Drawing on the results of 2025, the head of state called last year historic because it was in 2025 that the Armenia-Azerbaijan war ended from a political point of view. Although we have been living in these conditions for only 5 months, we are already seeing the fruition of this both on the political and economic planes. There is an upbeat mood in society. There is greater confidence and stability and security. All those factors, of course, have enabled us to successfully move forward and continue to address all the tasks facing the country, underlined President Ilham Aliyev. The head of state said that in the context of U.S.-Azerbaijan relations, 2025 can also be regarded as a historic year. The relations between Azerbaijan and America are developing in a very practical and result-oriented direction, declared President Ilham Aliyev, and noted that the matters on all the key areas, the preparation of a strategic charter in the main directions and the organization of mutual investments, the coverage of the economic, trade, transport and military-industrial directions of the relations are on the agenda. The head of state also touched on the strategic partnership between Azerbaijan and China and recalled that last year, during his state visit to China, the joint declaration on comprehensive strategic partnership had been signed, which can also be considered a great success, because China is one of the leading countries in the world, and this political framework, political platform, of course, can be viewed as evidence of our successful diplomacy, underlined President Ilham Aliyev. Chinese companies have begun actively investing in Azerbaijan, something that had not happened before. There have been individual investment projects, but we have never seen them on such a large scale or so coordinated with government agencies. This goes to show that a very strong signal and impetus have been given for expanding cooperation. Chinese companies are already investing in renewable energy. The construction of solar and wind power plants is starting, and there is demand for more. The construction of a solar panel factory has begun, and so has the assembly of electric buses. In this case, I must say that this was a strategic decision by the Azerbaijani side, because when we decided to develop not only green energy, but also green transport, we had to choose a strategic partner, and the choice fell on Chinese companies. The People's Republic of China is currently funding the construction of another railway to the Caspian Sea via Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan, investing billions. The terrain there is extremely complex, requiring the construction of a multitude of tunnels and bridges. This very fact suggests that since they have decided to finance this project, the railway will not stand idle. Freight traffic to the Caspian Sea and therefore to Azerbaijan will increase. Along with Central Asian countries, additional freight from China will naturally increase the demand for the east-west route, the Middle Corridor. Of course, we expect cargo from China and Central Asian countries to travel along the Zangezur corridor as well. We naturally view it primarily as a link with the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic, but also as an international transport corridor, said President Ilham Aliyev. Touching on the military technical cooperation with China within the framework of the political agreements reached, the head of state pointed that this is a new area of interaction between China and Azerbaijan, and we are seeing tremendous mutual interest. We're not limiting ourselves to the acquisition of military equipment. We are working on establishing joint ventures, and work in this area has already begun, noted the head of state. The head of state also addressed the question on the strengthening of the military potential of the country and said that if you compare the armament and combat readiness of the Azerbaijani army today with what it was when we won the patriotic war, we are several times stronger today.
The conflict between the Armenian government and the church continues. Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan has approved a roadmap to reform the Armenian Apostolic Church. The document was signed by bishops who are demanding the resignation of Catholicos Georgian II.
Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan has insisted on the resignation of the Catholicos. Together with 10 bishops, Pashinyan approved a statement on the restoration of the church. According to the statement, the program to restore the Apostolic Church will be implemented in stages. The first stage envisages the publication of an agenda followed by the removal of the Catholicos from office. The election of a new Catholicos and the adoption of a church charter are also planned. Furthermore, mechanisms for financial transparency and ethical conduct among the clergy will be established. Pashinyan and the bishops called on priests to support this document. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister took part in a festive event marking Christmas. He attended a service held at St. Gregory, the Illuminated Cathedral in Yerevan, together with his spouse. Among those present were Armenian President Vagan Khachaturyan, Parliament Speaker Alen Simanyan and others. At the same time, Catholicos of all Armenians, Gavagin II was conducting a Christmas liturgy in Ichmiadzin. Political circles in the country have reacted differently to the conflict between the government and the church. Opposition politician and leader of the Heritage Party, Rafi Vanisyan, told journalists that if the clergymen who joined the campaign to remove the Catholicos do not come to their senses, they will go down in history together with Prime Minister Pashinyan and the courage figures. According to former Ombudsman Artak Biglarian, he had hoped that the bishop would eventually realize his mistake. However, the latest statements and actions of the clergy indicate that he has decided to continue down a false path.
Leyla Aliyeva's visit to Oman continues.
As part of a visit to Oman, Leyla Aliyeva met with Sayyid Tiazin bin Haytham Al Said, Crown Prince of the Sultanate of Oman and Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth. During the meeting, Leyla Aliyeva highlighted the consistent measures implemented by the Azerbaijani government to protect and promote culture and historical heritage, as well as to advance youth and sports policy. The Crown Prince of the Sultanate of Oman expressed his eagerness to develop cooperation with Azerbaijan. The meeting hailed the high level of friendship and cooperation between Azerbaijan and Oman. The sides also expressed confidence in the further expansion of bilateral relations. Leyla Aliyeva familiarized herself with the projects implemented by the Oman Tourism Development Company in Muscat. Founded in 2005, the company is one of the key tourism development companies in the Sultanate, aiming to globally promote the country's tourism opportunities and diversify its economy. As part of a visit to Muscat, Leyla Aliyeva visited the Sultan Qaboos Grand Mosque. The mosque, built on the initiative of the late Sultan Qaboos bin Said and opened in 2001, is known as one of the most magnificent religious and architectural monuments in the country. The mosque, which can accommodate approximately 20,000 worshippers, has become an architectural symbol of Muscat. Leyla Aliyeva met with the chairperson of the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Authority of the Sultanate of Oman, Halimat bin Rashid Al-Zari. The meeting discussed the development of small and medium entrepreneurship between Azerbaijan and Oman, as well as enhancing women's economic empowerment, supporting youth business initiatives, and promoting innovation-oriented projects. Leyla Aliyeva highlighted the state programs and public initiatives implemented in Azerbaijan to develop the non-oil sector, including entrepreneurship. Halimat Al-Zari noted that Oman is interested in enhancing cooperation with Azerbaijan. During the conversation, it was agreed to establish direct contacts between business representatives and form specific cooperation mechanisms in the future.
That was all for today. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.